The college football transfer portal is in full swing right now, and the Noles are after some of the top talent at key positions. So let's start with quarterback. Now, initially, I think some people were against Florida State pursuing a transfer quarterback, and I even understood that argument at one point, but I think that was kind of before what we've seen over these last couple weeks. Brock Glenn, no slight to him, but he's just not ready yet. Tate is still a bit of a question mark in my opinion. AJ Duffy has announced his decision to enter the transfer portal and leave Tallahassee. So that just leaves the quarterback room not in the best shape heading into 2024, a year where you still want to be able to contend for the now 12-team playoff, thankfully. As we all have seen and learned, the quarterback is super important. Now, you do have a top quarterback in Luke Kromenhoek coming in, but of course he'll be a true freshman, and you definitely don't want to rush his development, and you definitely can't empty all your eggs into that one basket. So that being said, I think Florida State has to and is currently exploring their options for a transfer portal quarterback. Some names I see that are getting tossed around a lot is, for one, DJ Uiagalelei, who's a familiar name and maybe might get more familiar here soon. But he used to play at Clemson before transferring to Oregon State. Now he's a grad transfer and he's looking to transfer again. We've also heard that Florida State is in talks with Cam Ward, the transfer out of Washington State, who may be the single best option in the portal right now, but there will be a lot of suitors. The final name that I see that seems to have some real smoke with Florida State is Dante Moore out of UCLA. Now, when it comes to DJU, I feel like there's a pretty solid divide of opinions about him, and granted, that's a fair assessment, especially with his ties to Clemson, a conference rival. Some may not like this move at all. Now, I wouldn't say he's elite, but I do think he's a great option for Florida State to explore here. Now, hear me out. If he were to come to Florida State, this would be the best coaching staff he's been around when it comes to quarterback development. And I think he absolutely has the tools that fits Mike's kind of offense, and I really, really do think Coach Tokars and Norvell could work with him and really get him integrated into a high-powered offense here at Florida State. He has terrific arm strength, and he's mobile as well. He's absolutely massive, coming in at 6'4", 251 pounds. So he's also a physical runner as well. And those are the kind of quarterbacks that Mike really likes, the guys who can stretch the field and run when they need to, move the pocket, that kind of thing, wait for a place to open up. So I do think that he could be a real legit option here for Mike Norvell in this offense. Now, not only that, but he's also played a lot of college football. A couple years at Clemson, and then this 2023 season at Oregon State. So he's an experienced guy who could be a leader for your team and help elevate your quarterback room. I personally would say that DJU probably is the best fit out of the options that are out there right now. He could also be the most likely, as it seems like there's a good bit of mutual interest there. He even tweeted out defending Florida State after they got left out of the playoffs. So maybe we should all start warming up to this option and getting used to saying his name. Now, Cam Ward, the transfer quarterback from Washington State, played 2 years at Incarnate Word before transferring to the Power 5 level, and now he's back on the move as well. Cam Ward may be the most coveted quarterback in the portal, and Florida State absolutely has interest there, and it does seem to be mutual. Now, I think Ward would be a little bit of a tougher pull since there's a lot of suitors after him. Ohio State, Miami are some of the schools to keep an eye on. But Florida State has shown to be a premier transfer portal destination, so I'm absolutely not going to doubt the staff or anything, but I just wonder, do they like him enough compared to a guy like DJU to make it worth the extra recruiting efforts, potential NIL stuff? I think these are the top two guys, and it seems to be sort of a 1A, 1B situation where the staff will be more than happy with either one of them. Now, we've also seen some talk around Dante Moore in Florida State recently. This is a bit of a weird one because Moore was a 5-star quarterback, top 5 player overall in his recruiting class, and he may very well have the highest ceiling out of any of the quarterbacks in the portal right now. But he's young, he's raw, and it would still take some time to get him developed. He had a lot of interest in Florida State when he was being recruited as a high school prospect, visited Tallahassee quite a few times. I think he really, really liked Kenny Dillingham, who was the offensive coordinator at the time. And I think we may have even landed him that year had Dilly stayed at Florida State. Now, as far as the fit today, right now, I get testing the waters there, but I really think he's more of a backup option for the staff. Not any disrespect to him, but again, he's young and he has 3 to 4 years left. I just think Florida State's looking for more like a 1-year guy right now, an experienced vet who can come in and kind of bridge the gap for 2024 until either a guy like Brock Glenn or Luke Kromenhoek can develop and take over that starting role. So I just think adding a young multi-year guy like Dante Moore would be nice, but I do think it would crowd the room a bit, and especially there in 2025. You don't want to go through these hoops for one of these guys to end up just transferring out this time next year. So I think Florida State has to be careful when it comes to him. Again, I think Moore has a ton of potential, but I think the staff is just looking for a 1 year guy. And if I had to go out on a limb and guess, I'd say we see DJU transfer to Tallahassee. And I think I like that choice for both him and the staff. I also like the idea of having a quarterback who would be extra motivated to beat Clemson. So I'd be willing to bet you see some visits from at least one of these guys. I think we see multiple visits soon from other guys in the portal, not even just at quarterback, but all positions, defensive end, that kind of thing. It sounds like a few guys will even be in Tallahassee this weekend, and I think it's fixing to get really fun to watch all this because I think almost every player in the transfer portal is considering Florida State and reaching out to the staff since they have a tremendous track record with developing transfer players. We'll definitely have some more stuff on the portal and portal guys here soon. Again, between portal and high school recruiting, it's all fixing to go nuts. And there's going to be an absolute ton of stuff to digest, names to keep up with, names to watch, cryptic tweets, and all that good stuff. So you're definitely going to want to make sure you're subscribed to the channel. That way we can keep you in the loop on all the big stuff you need to know as a Florida State fan. And I do want to hear your opinion as well. Do you think Florida State should take a transfer quarterback? If so, who do you think would be the best fit? What's your thoughts on DJU? Let me know in the comments. Like, subscribe, and let's talk Noles.